This is so cool, a real life oasis. What's the tea?
Bitter.
You would almost think that this is like some kind of art installation.
We're finally here. 6 in the morning.
Bright and early we're up today. We've actually been up since 4:30.
Well, we got a nice hike waiting for us. A 2-day hike, actually.
In the desert.
In the desert.
We completely changed all of our plans. One thing we're learning on this trip is to be incredibly flexible. And we are going with a group of people that we've never met, a guide that has never contacted us, and that we've only met through a middle person. So
at a meeting point that we don't even know if it's the right one. So
we're off to a good start.
That's it.
Welcome to the fishing port area of Jerba. Our guide told us that not a lot of tourists come here. And so it's just kind of us, very calm. It's the beginning of the day.
Perfect place for a rest stop, quick coffee before getting on the ferry. So now onto the ferry, back on land, all the way to the desert.
Let's go. So finding a bathroom here is not always easy. Here there is, in theory, a bathroom. Here you can see the men's room and then the women's room, which is completely locked and probably has not ever been used, if I had to guess. So I guess I'm just gonna hold it because I'm not going anywhere near that bathroom.
They locked the door in 1987, so hasn't been open since. Let's now ask Marissa how the experience in this bathroom was. How did it go?
Good. With a small donation, you get some toilet paper, the toilet's flush, and there was soap and water.
I feel we can make a series of videos of Marissa using public bathrooms in Tunisia. Also, on a different note, the ferry's here. We're about to go. So far, so good. The first ferry, probably the last ferry of this journey. We can already see we're approaching land. Getting off the ferry, Marissa. We are back on mainland Tunisia. Welcome to Jorf. Another stop. So far, this trip has seen a lot of different rest stops, a lot of different cafes. I like it that it's a lot of rest stops in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So in a way, it's more authentic. There's really not a lot of tourists around. And in fact, there's no tourists except for us. And yeah, this is our van.
And we just arrived at a original Berber house, and already we can see some of the things that we've seen a lot in Tunisia. So in the background here you can see the fish on the door, which is a sign of good luck, and the hand of Fatima, which is also for good luck and to keep away the evil eye. This is really unbelievable. It's in the absolute middle of the desert, and I'm so curious to see inside, so let's go check it out.
And just to add to what Marissa just said about the fish in the hand that we see a lot in Tunisia, in this part of Tunisia specifically, the reason why they have the fish in the hand is to represent the different religions of this area: Christian, Muslim, and Jewish. Before Islam came to the area, this region had mostly either Christians or Jewish people. And when the Islam kind of conquered all over North Africa, most Berbers, to avoid conflicts, became Muslims. So that's why they still keep all three symbols out there to signify that, you know, in their traditions, there's actually three religions.
Aujourd'hui, ils ne sont pas la grande différence, mais à l'intérieur, c'est toujours beaucoup moins chaud et
Ils font les travaux à l'extérieur matin tôt. Et wir schauen die Zimmer drinnen, von drinnen, on va voir les chambres de l'intérieur.
So here's the kitchen. One thing that our guide said that's really funny is that these places now are more modern, so they have electricity. But he said now there's less children. Why? There's electricity. People have TV, people have their phones. Back in the days when people didn't have anything to do, what did they do? Well, they made children. And so now that they're a little bit more occupied with modern things, less children.
S'il vous plaît.
Merci.
Vous pouvez, avec l'huile d'olive, olive oil.
À la manière italienne.
Non, c'est la manière, c'est tunisienne. Mais les Italiens, ils ont appris des Tunisiens.
No, c'est vrai.
Bitte sehr, steht so.
Buono?
Vai.
Der Wärme geht immer nach oben und bleibt die Kühle unten. Darum ist es so angenehm im Sommer, weil es ist sehr
Very good.
heiß. Und dann
Extra
gibt es
virgin
immer Schatten,
oil.
gibt es immer في سكر بتاعي مولا لا ولكن ما عندنا حتى
Bitter.
مزية احنا هذه
But I
حسب
like
دارنا
it. Very strong flavor.
ما عندناش مشكلة معانا
Bueno.
وكان
Ganz essen oder wie? Nee, die stimmen. Ja, die gehen damit drauf.
Falten, man weiß nicht, dass hier ein Haus ist. Und wie gesagt, weil die Wärme geht.
Dann habe ich einen hellgrauen BH angehabt, genau das gleiche Spiel.
This is awesome.
Just a quick stop on the way to the real desert. I mean, it's hard to imagine that there's something that is more desert than these, you know.
To me, this is desert.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's more like rocks, but
It's not sand yet.
yes. But
We're gonna get there.
and then I think in the background here, these are the Atlas Mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
The Atlas Mountains that actually begin here and go all the way down to the Atlantic Ocean, going through Algeria and Morocco. Speaking of Algeria and Morocco, I think I even saw a sign over there that says 150 kilometers from the Algerian border. It's like we are at the end of the world over
Yeah,
here.
it feels like we're on Mars or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like with the rocks and the mountains in the distance. But then you remember you're in Tunisia because there's just a camel here.
Dromedary crossing the roads.
And welcome officially to the desert. This is so cool. We're about to go for a walk. Davide just took his shoes off, so I guess I'm about to do the same.
I mean, look at where we are. It's the sand, Marissa. We cannot wear shoes. You know, Marissa, that's what happens when you don't make plans and you decide last minute to join a tour and just follow this guy that we have never seen. But you know, so far, it's looking like a really fun tour.
Let's go. Walking up the sand. Oh my God, this is so cool. Literally feet in the sand of the Sahara Desert. Who would have thought? Here we go. Wow, it's actually not super easy to walk up.
I gotta say, it's much harder than what I thought.
Just gonna point out, look at our tour guide over here. He's so at
Living
home.
his best life. After waking up at 4 in the morning, after driving for hundreds and hundreds of kilometers, we're finally here.
And honestly, it feels worth it because this place is legit magical. There's just
True.
like something so insanely cool about being surrounded just by endless sand.
Yeah.
Safely with the car in the distance.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you look this way, surrounded by sand. So cool. There's a camel approaching us.
Salam.
Hello. He's gonna ask if we want to ride. We're gonna have to say no, unfortunately.
Because we already have one planned with our guy. Our guy planned everything. On a déjà fait.
We already have one, but thank you. Shukran.
Let's see.
I'm trying my new strategy of giving the thumbs up no
Just
matter
going
what.
thumbs up and we're all good.
Okay. Let's see what's. Oh. Ciao.
Good morning from the train station in Tozeur. Today we're starting the day visiting this iconic spot, railway station put together back during the French colonialism times of Tunisia. A piece of architecture that represents the pure soul of the city. I mean, look at that. The bricks, the typical bricks of Tozeur and the typical decorations of Tunisia. Let's go inside. Marissa. Look at how many trains this station has. 1, 2. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. All going to Tunis. And the trains coming in are the same trains, obviously.
Oh, okay.
This is an
I'll give you
iconic
my-
train station.
I'll give you my bathroom update.
Yes.
Since that's in constant search for
Yes.
a bathroom here. There is a toilet.
Yes.
Does not flush. There's water. There's no soap. No toilet paper.
The exploration of Tunisian bathrooms continues. Just a quick look at the tracks and then off we go.
So here we have a typical gas station that we've seen a lot here in the desert.
It's actually very interesting the way it works because they get gas all the way from Libya, sometimes even Algeria, bring it here to Tunisia and sell it like that, just on the street from a little hut, sometimes a cabin, sometimes an apartment even.
Yep.
And it's really cheap. You can get 15 liters for $1.
Unbelievable. A little unconventional how they pump it, but hey, it works.
So we've learned something very interesting about the land around here, in the desert basically, on the border between Tunisia and Algeria. We're basically crossing a lot of pieces of land that it all belongs to the government, but every now and then you see an oasis or you see the beginning of an oasis.
Technically, all this land is owned by the government, but if you plant an oasis, then that land becomes yours. What's the caveat? It takes 20 years approximately to grow these palm trees, and it's not even easy. You have to care for them, and you have to find the water supply, hope that it's a good water supply, and do all the irrigation to those palm trees yourself. So the water, the electricity, everything.
You're basically planting these trees not for yourself, but for your kids. And you hope for almost 2 decades that those trees are gonna give dates, because if they don't, then you lose everything. You lose the investment, you lose the land, and your kids lose the possibility to work with that land. So it's almost like a bet.
Right. The thing that's probably hard is there's so much that's out of your control. It's a bet you gotta take, but big profits in the end if you do. This is so cool, a real life oasis. We're literally inside of one. This is awesome. This oasis is awesome. It grows so many things. It grows oranges, mandarins, the plant that makes henna. I think we even saw some pomegranates before. What makes this oasis so special is that it has just the right amount of sun, water, and shade. And that's why all of this fruit is able to grow here so successfully. We are approaching the bottom of the oasis. It looks like there's some fresh water and people are swimming. Of course, my bathing suit is safely in the car. So this water is actually pretty fresh and cool. And our guide was telling us it originates right from the mountain. And it clearly is feeding this whole oasis.
What's the water like? Cold, hot?
Fresh. Very fresh.
Pretty awesome oasis.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You see them in like movies and cartoons your whole life.
Yeah.
Finally, after decades, we're here to see a real life oasis.
For me, an oasis was always something in a cartoon that was happening in a mirage.
Of course, in a mirage, and of course in the middle of the desert with dunes, you know, right? Here it's kind of like very different in real life, you know, but still magical place to think that there's the desert all around, and then these.
And then water.
Yeah.
I mean,
this could be up in the mountains.
In a way, it is in the middle of the desert. It's only that humans built roads right near it. So. So on this trail that we're walking, there's also these stands everywhere. People are selling different things. Ciao. Bene, bene, tu.
It's crazy because you come to Tunisia, the middle of the desert, shops all over.
Shops all over. I mean, some of the stuff is actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
like they're selling different rocks, jewelry that I think is classic Berber jewelry. It's really beautiful.
Something. What price?
Merci. It looks like there's even like snakes like in a frame, dates, different like headscarves, blankets. So it's some of the stuff that you find all over Tunisia. Signs to say where the canyon is.
The Grand Canyon, Marissa, not just the canyon. And I see something over there.
The Grand Canyon of Tunisia. Look at it, it's so beautiful.
It's the canyon that Trent is by the frontier natural.
Welcome to the Salt Flats here in Tunisia. It is so windy. In Tunisia, they have these huge, vast lands just full of salt. And you can walk on them. The only thing you have to be very careful about is you have to know where you're going. Because if not, you can actually fall in. Because some of the areas, well, some of the salt is actually a lake, and it's just the thinnest layer of salt. And there have actually been people, hi Davide.
Hello.
There have actually been people that have fallen in.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy story.
Even cars and buses that have fallen in. So you have to be careful if you venture out here and want to take a few pictures or go venture out on the salt flats, because it's actually a lake covered with salt. But look how crazy cool this is. Another area of Tunisia where the nature is amazing and it's just totally other world. Our guide.
A true driver.
A driver in every sense. You would almost think that this is like some kind of art installation, but I don't think it is. I think that this time it's actually just an abandoned bus.
Can I actually show you the best thing? And you haven't seen it yet. You're gonna love it. It's full of stickers. Marissa, look at the sticker they got here.
Pulcinella.
We have a new guest up front. Marissa.
In the front seat now.
What I like about this tour is that we make so many stops all the time, and they're so random. They're not connected with each other. And so I imagine even watching this video later is gonna be like, what was going on? But I think that's the beauty of it, because it's an exploration of a region, and this region has so much history, so it's really hard to just put together a tour that is only connected by a few elements, right? It's the whole region, so you just gotta go with it.
I would say the theme is desert.
Oh yeah, that we know. I like this one, look at this.
This is insane. So beautiful.
The story behind this stop that we're making is that basically we're walking on a town, or actually I should say we're walking on a small village that used to exist here, and that it got covered by the sand. As in most cases with natural disasters in this area, even the sand, in addition to the water, can cause a lot of trouble to the people living here. And what happened here, as you can see from the structures that still lay over there but that are covered in sand, the whole region got covered. The whole region was all of a sudden covered with all this sand, and the people had to leave this place here. The people had to go and find new villages to live in. And little by little, the village was slowly covered with more and more sand, up until today, where it's literally a ghost town, a sand town that you cannot even see.
This has been a beautiful day so far, but I have to say, I'm a little bit sick of staying in hotels.
Cavallino.
Alright then, I might have an idea.
Yep, these camels just worked the sunset beat. Oh my god!
Aber dann hol die ab, wa?
A little roadblock.
There's a ton of dromedari. Davide, I know I said I didn't want to stay in a hotel, but
But you know.
but why do I have a flashlight?